Happy Monday. It's the 24th of March, 2025. I almost said 24 because of the alignment there. Today's tip is yours. What's kicking off our week?
Kicking off our week this week is that if you want to find a cheap way to buy plants, consider buying basil or thyme or rosemary at the supermarket. In the fresh aisle, you can usually find little, pre-planted basil or spices or herbs, things like that. And I accidentally bought myself a new plant because last week I got oregano on the vine and I used it and then I just put it in water and now it's sprouting new limbs. And I'm really excited about it because I didn't mean to, but now I have a new plant. And this, let me just say, this is why we made this show. This is a tip.
This is a tip. I love this tip. I love gardening. And I have in the past discovered that plant of an herb was cheaper at my local supermarket than at my local nursery. And I picked one up there. So I love this tip. Great tip.
Thank
Great
you.
Monday.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back tomorrow for Tuesday.
See ya. Ned, what was the game of the year from last year? And should we play it?
What a good lead off. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Daily Tips that may or may not help you. Today's tip is not a sponsored post. It's just something I love. You should be playing Balatro. If you have an iPhone, it's in the App Store. If you have Game Pass, it's on your Xbox. You can get it for Switch. You can get it for Steam. If you subscribe to the Apple Cloud service, it's free on Apple Arcade. Balatro is the best game I've played in so long.
Wow.
It's a roguelike card game. It's insanely fun. On a flight from LA to New York, I played it nonstop and the flight flew by. It's my new commute game. It's not that new. I've been playing it for like 6 to 8 months. But you should be playing Balatro. Balatro, and we will link to it in the show notes. They didn't pay us for this, but if they want to retroactively do it, Balatro, what up?
Yes. What up, Balatro? And also, what up, Tuesday? And tomorrow, we're back with another episode of Daily Tips that may or may not help you. It'll be our last guest tipper, Katharine Quinn episode. So strap in and let's see what she has to say.
All right, Katharine, March 26th, 2025, finishing out the month for you. What do you think?
Don't buy groceries if you're not going to eat them.
So smart. So
my
true.
God.
All of us need that.
Oh, that's psychic damage.
And if that resonates with you, then it applies to you. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you didn't understand it, then it's
This
not for
tip
you.
is
It
not
means
for
nothing to
you.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Because for some people, they're going to be like, obviously. And other people are going to be like, yeah, but if I buy them, then I'll use them. And like, that's not true for some people.
Nope.
Anyway,
This has been March 26, 2025. That felt like a tip. Katharine Quinn, you have been our guest tipper of the month for the month of March. Tell the fine people where they can find you and give a quick shout out to And That's Showbiz's channels, please.
I didn't know. I thought that I was just giving you my tip in advance. I don't know. That was didn't know.
Just
that
to
was
be
the
clear,
delivery of the
you
tip.
were until it was
You
a
were.
really good episode.
it was so
Great.
natural.
I love that.
We might even keep
I
this
love
whole
that.
thing in.
Yeah.
I feel so good about that. Okay, people can find me at It's Katharine Quinn on Instagram and TikTok, and on YouTube also at It's Katharine Quinn. And then for all things Broadway, you can find me at And That's Showbiz.
And That's Showbiz with a Z, people.
Yeah.
Katharine, thank you so much for being here in March. It is a joy to have you on Daily Tips that may or may not help you. And we may ask you to come back to give some more Broadway tips a little later this year.
I would love that. Thank you for having me.
Arielle, you just described this tip as one you don't know personally. So what is the tip and who gave it to you?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Shira Moskowitz, who we've been shouting out a lot on this show.
Shout out to Shira Moskowitz, co-host of Daily Tips. that may or may not
Honestly,
help you.
Tippendale of this trimester.
Century?
Anyway, she did give me the idea that we should have Tippendale of the month, which I think is true. Anyway, let's get to her tip. Soup cubes for meal prep. She, instead of just like freezing your meals, consider breaking them up into soup cubes. You can order these soup cubes on Amazon, or you can go to your local Tupperware store or, I don't know, container store or whatever the local version of that is. And you can go get some soup cubes. And then when you're freezing your meal, you can freeze it in little spots so that you can then heat them up on a one serving basis. And you can tell the reason that I'm stumbling my way through this tip is because I am horrific at meal prep. As much as I try, I don't even try yet. I will be trying soon. Any hoodle, thank you, Shira, and thank you, Ned, for being here today. What? This is so chaotic.
Soup cubes is the funniest collection of
Soup
words
cubes.
to say over and over again. You know when you write a word out and
Yeah.
it stops looking
It's
real?
over.
That's how soup cubes sounds.
Yeah, soup cubes is nothing anymore.
No, my brain is soup cubes.
And we'll be back with more soup cubes tomorrow for daily tips that may or may not help you.
Soup cubes that may or may not help you.
That got me. Ned, I realized that in the entirety of our recording for the last, almost half month, I have not said the date. And I've just been trusting the Tippendales that they know what day it is. And that's rude of me because ultimately, if I were a Tippendale, I would come here to find out what day it is. Anyway, with all of that in mind, today's the 28th. And Ned, you have a tip.
I do. It's a tip for you to try out this weekend. When we set up our apartments, we do honestly quick stuff. We want to get stuff down. We pick spaces for a bookshelf, and then that bookshelf lives there for 20 years. And sometimes that bookshelf is not in an optimal place. The tip of the day is consider this weekend reimagining something in your apartment that annoys you frequently. An example of this, my wife and I have a coat closet in our hall, which is a bit away from our front door. So every time we came in, we had to go to this closet to put our coats away. But that's where coats go. And that was annoying. So what ended up happening is we'd throw our coats on the coffee table near the door, which is not a good solution. So we installed coat hooks on the wall next to the door. Now we have a little area where we come in, we take off our coat, it goes right on the hooks. And coats that are out of season go in the closet. And now we have a happier what happens with our coats when we come home. So that's the tip of the day. If there's something in your apartment where you're always I wish I'd done this differently, do it this weekend. See what happens.
You can change things up. I love, that's my favorite life hack, but it's too broad to really make a tip out of. It's just if you don't like something, you can change it.
You can change it.
You can do anything. You can do anything. All right. That's it for today because I'm sure people are okay, sure, Arielle. Bye.